Hello everyone, it's Kevin Jackson. I'm here at the AT&T Foundry in Plano, Texas with Craig Lee, director of the AT&T Foundry. And I guess we're here talking about advanced technology for healthcare solutions. You look the part.
I know, we always have fun at the Foundry.
So what are the leverages or uses of technology in this hospital?
So what we're looking at and doing proof of concepts and working through is how can we leverage things such as 5G and some of the newer technologies that have come along to do a digital transformation, if you will, of the hospital, and also the continuation of care for the patient, right? So if you think about a patient that's gone through surgery, they're going into recovery, and then ultimately they're going to go home, how can we give that same level of monitoring as the patient's recuperating at home that they were getting when they were in room number 306 with the same types of equipment. So a lot of this is that continuation of care for the patient, but also for the hospitals. They're looking at how can we connect seamlessly a lot of these different types of components. They're tracking where things are. They're moving large data files around. You think of an MRI where they're trying to send it off to be analyzed and get the results back. Those are huge files. So we've been looking at and doing experiments with how 5G, for instance, can be a way to transfer those files much more speedily in real time than you would get otherwise. They're so large, in fact, that a lot of times they're having to just drive them over on a disk or something, but we now can deliver them in much more real time.
Well, that sounds very much akin to the panel That sounds very much akin to the issues that panelists I listened to earlier this week. A doctor on the panel said that he wanted to get some imagery of an injury, and somebody just took their smartphone and took a picture, and it's not the same thing. Right. So you're going to be pushing data about like MRI scans and other types of medical data with very high fidelity. What does that do to a network inside a hospital?
So part of this is as that digital transformation is taking place, AT&T can be that partner to bring in the appropriate either wired, wireline, or wireless technology to provide a unified solution, if you will, for that digital transformation. So there'll be times when the doctor needs to see something remotely,
right?
Or as you're sending off, for instance, that MRI data, it's not just the screen capture of that. There's the whole three-dimensional elements of what's in that file that you can't get just by looking at a static image, right? So that entire experience can now be sent and analyzed by multiple parties. And if you think about, particularly in trauma care, right? Every second counts, so that brain scan needs to be viewed very quickly, and is there a problem or not, right? So that's part of this ability to do that. I think some of the other elements that we've assembled are, for instance, wayfinding. So as the patients are coming in for an appointment, or how do I get where I'm going? So either on a phone or tied into kiosks, and then also check-in. So as you check in, even prints out the medical band and begins that check-in process. You know how tedious that can be in today's model with all the paperwork and stuff. So transforming that into the digital world is part of what we're experimenting with here.
Well, it sounds like you're sort of delving into trying to improve, I guess, the patient experience. Many of the other industry verticals have been talking a lot about customer experience, but how else will you improve the patient experience?
So I think there's that. One, the ability for the patient to be quickly and frictionlessly admitted to the hospital,
right?
And then also, a lot of the making sure that as procedures are done and so forth, that is that particular person, patient. So there's some of that can be done and tied all back into this.
So reducing errors.
A lot of it too is if you think about the hospital space. Where's the so-and-so machine I needed for this procedure? As we talk to hospitals, it's amazing how kind of but can't find things as they need them, for instance, right? So a lot of this is how can you put tracking or location elements on some of these high-value pieces of equipment that are in a hospital. The other is even things like caregivers and nurses and doctors and so forth, being able to locate where they're at in an emergency or something, right? So one of their patients is having an episode, being able to know exactly where the doctor is and to be able to do that. So there's some of those kinds of elements that are pulling into that, in addition to the overall data transformation and things around record handling, HIPAA compliance, and all those things that would come into that.
Well, it sounds like this is going to be a very important aspect as hospitals try to take care of our aging population. So thank you very much for taking the time to discuss this.